Hello everyone! Today you're going to see a massive top 60 lineup of the coolest new and upcoming games. This video is a special one. It's not a regular episode, but a compilation of content from my previous videos that I've combined into one complete and convenient format. Now all the brightest and most anticipated releases are gathered in one place. A first-person Souls-like from the team behind Ghost Runner, Valor Mortis drops you into a plague-rotted alternate Napoleonic Europe as a resurrected French soldier cursed with otherworldly powers. Streets choke with decay, cathedrals groan under corruption, and every step hints at a deeper conspiracy threading through the dead and the living alike. Combat is classic Souls discipline, tight parries, desperate dodges, and the sting of losing resources on death. But it's fused with the swift traversal DNA of Ghost Runner, inviting you to vault, slide, and reposition with lethal intent. It's a brutal dance of timing and momentum where supernatural abilities and steel clash against abominations born of pestilence, all wrapped in a grim horror tone that never lets you breathe easy. Arcane Lion is sharpening something dark and stylish with Marvel's Blade, but it's still early days. There's no firm release date yet, only the whisper of a possible late 2027 window and talk that it may arrive across the major platforms. What we do have is mood. The reveal came by way of a cinematic that trades in shadow, swagger, and tension rather than raw gameplay. It sets an expectation of a character-driven, atmosphere-heavy hunt where the night belongs to Blade, and to the monsters who think they own it. While Arcane's reputation suggests immersive systems and choices waiting beneath the surface.
Relax, man. I don't bite. Lock up tight now.
This entry is shaking the formula in ways players will feel immediately. At launch, skill-based matchmaking won't be the default. Instead, the game leans on a more open system with minimal skill weighting, promising faster lobbies and wilder matchups. The recent beta brought encouraging news on the integrity front, with anti-cheat reporting 97 to 99% of matches free from cheaters, and on PC the TPM 2.0 Plus secure boot requirement adds another layer of enforcement. Expect the familiar speed and snap of Black Ops gunplay, now paired with a matchmaking philosophy designed to loosen the reins and let chaos breathe.
No more games. This ends now. Get the Reznov Challenge Pack when you pre-order now.
From Straight 4 Studios with Giant Software Publishing, Project Motor Racing is lining up as a serious sim racer, and it already has a date. November 25, 2025 on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. The hook is freedom. Full mod support is promised from day one, inviting the community to shape cars, tracks, and even physics across platforms. Under the hood, true 2-track tech simulates dynamic weather, drainage and drying lines, and natural day-night transitions, so strategies evolve with every lap. It's the kind of racer where you feel the track heating, the rubber building, and the racing line shifting, then head to the garage to tinker with the world itself. Future Korea teeters toward reunification when a devastating attack rips through the South Korean National Assembly, and Mudang, Two Hearts throws you into the aftermath from two angles. As Ji Jong-tae, a North Korean Special Forces operative sent south under the peace accords, and as Gavi, a K-pop idol pulled into the crossfire of manipulation and engineered emotion, you move through open, multipath spaces that reward choice. Slip through vents, climb piping, or take the direct route with close-quarters takedowns. Gadgets and EMPs enable quiet sabotage, while environmental interactions open fresh approaches on the fly. Performance capture drives the story's emotional realism as both protagonists peel back layers of hidden agendas and discover why the truth was never meant to be seen.
당신의 분노를 이용한다.
This is a racer where you don't just drive the track, you build the madness you want to crash through. Wreckreation drops you into a sprawling mixed world roughly 400 square kilometers in size and hands you the tools to sculpt loops, ramps, corkscrews, gauntlets, and entire stun arenas, then throws you and everyone else into the chaos you created. You can tune the vibe on the fly, weather, time of day, traffic, even the rules of the event, acting like a game DJ who flips switches to change the show mid-race. Under the spectacle, there's a comforting promise too. Offline play for those nights you want to tinker or tear around solo. After a long, quiet development, the team says it's in finaling mode with a planned launch pointed at October 28, 2025. One last deep breath before the world goes full send. Ryuga Gotoku Studio pivots from neon swagger to hard-boiled noir with a story that snakes through Japan across two haunted time slices, 1915 and 1943. The center of gravity is Mako Daito, a dogged detective dragged into a web of rot where every answer seems to open a darker door. The tone is all smoke and suspicion. Thin light in narrow alleys whispers behind paper walls, the kind of tension that sticks to your coat. Combat looks more direct and bruising than past RGG fare, trading flashy spectacle for mean grounded melees, while survival elements like hunger and thirst keep you thinking 2 steps ahead. Even tiny choices matter. A cigarette can calm your nerves or paint a target on your back. It's Yakuza's storytelling DNA sharpened into a detective's stiletto.
Got a name?
Mako Daito.
Daito. A Jap then, huh?
Don't I look like one?
You're not? So, what are you then?
Sana.
Steel rings, timber splinters, and alchemical fire blooms in the wind. Alkahest is a medieval dark fantasy action RPG that makes the world itself your weapon. In the embattled land of Cadanor, you begin as the younger son of a minor lord, quickly swept into goblin raids, border skirmishes, and courtly plots where a thrown barrel can be as decisive as a blade. Combat is kinetic and physical. You kick supports to collapse a walkway, hurl shields to shatter guard stances, slide under a swing and counter with a boot to send an enemy tumbling. The alchemy system is the beating heart. Brew on the fly, lace weapons, toss volatile concoctions, or slip a potion into a pocket and watch cause and effect ripple through a fight. There's been chatter about trailer trickery, but what's shown, cracking shields, parkour that flows, environments that break the way wood should, speaks to a game obsessed with tactile, systemic chaos. This edition aims to turn the sky into a living, breathing workplace and wonderland. Under the hood, the team is pushing deeper parallelization for aircraft simulation, shaving VRAM demands, and tuning CPU cache behavior so complex aircraft and dense scenery stay smooth even when the world is busy. On the surface, it's the dream of aviation across industries. Bush missions in storm-scrubbed valleys, aerial construction, emergency response, cargo operations, tourism flyovers that stitch cloud tech, photogrammetry, and machine learning into something that feels like real air under your wings. And the audience is about to grow. PlayStation 5 support lands on December 8th, 2025. With DualSense features, adaptive triggers for brake tension, gyros for subtle input, even ATC chatter through the controller speaker. Plus PSVR 2 support on the horizon in 2026. It's the same planet, but with more ways to feel it. A siren song from 1995's Shadowed Streets, a failed underground civilization, a parasite called Luca, and a bounty hunter whose infection becomes both curse and blade. Project Retrograde frames survival as metamorphosis. You absorb combat memories from other hosts, and the world starts to change with you. One encounter unlocks ruthless kung fu, another whispers stealth that turns you into a hallway ghost, and somewhere deeper, the parasite teaches you impossible tricks that tilt reality. The tone is equal parts retro tech and cold sweat, all CRT hum and concrete corridors, with tension that feels closer to classic survival horror than power fantasy. Ammunition is precious, choices linger, and the question is never just how to kill what's in front of you, but what you'll become if you do.
Our sacrifices! Oh, ruin!
The sly goblin thief is back, and this time Styx has more tools, more attitude, and far bigger playgrounds to conquer. Blades of Greed offers 3 massive open-ended environments, vertical labyrinths of towers, walls, and fortresses, each designed like a living stealth puzzle. You can choose your own way in, grapple across rooftops, glide between rafters, or melt into the shadows with a shimmer of magic. The new abilities, mind control, shadow manipulation, and a more versatile clone system turn infiltration into a creative game of cat and mouse. Beyond the missions, the story digs into the birth of the Black Hand, the mercenary network that ties Styx's chaotic world together. Every choice feels like a step in a larger conspiracy where greed, betrayal, and survival intertwine, and every stolen trinket is a whisper of something darker.
Just remember, kids, it's not about doing it. It's about getting away with it. Always in the wrong place. Bastards! You guys need to slow down.
Insomniac's next big swing takes us away from skyscrapers and into the blood and grit of Logan's world. Marvel's Wolverine, set for release in fall 2026, promises a brutal, character-driven story that cuts deeper than any of the studio's past heroes. This is not the bright, quippy tone of Spider-Man. It's a world of scars and whiskey, of a man wrestling with the violence inside him as much as the enemies outside. Combat looks savage and grounded, focusing on close-quarters brutality, precise strikes, and cinematic finishers that show the cost of every fight. The developers aim for an original narrative, one that pays homage without repeating old arcs, while subtle cameos like Mystique and Omega Red hint that Logan's past will still find a way to claw back into his life.
I'm moving. Just not for me. 'Cause I ain't no hero.
From Embark Studios comes a game that fuses the danger of extraction shooters with a futuristic war against machine invaders. ARC Raiders throws you into a collapsing world where teams of scavengers dive into hostile zones to gather loot, face robotic enemies, and escape alive. Death means losing everything, which gives every encounter an edge of panic. Combat feels tactical and cinematic, as bullets spark against steel hulls and explosions light up the ruined landscapes. The release is set for October 30th, 2025 on PS5, Xbox, and PC, with a final Server Slam beta planned just weeks before launch. The developers are fine-tuning balance and lowering regional pricing worldwide to make entry fair for all players. It's the last test before they unleash the storm. One chance to prove you can survive what's coming.
Sorry, kids.
IO Interactive's take on Bond is not the suave veteran we've come to expect. It's a younger, untested agent still finding his identity in the shadows. 007, First Light, arriving March 27, 2026, reimagines James Bond's origin through a raw, grounded story filled with stealth, tension, and brutal close-quarters action. You start as a recruit within MI6, working through high-stakes missions that span car chases, shootouts, and infiltration sequences designed with IOI's trademark precision. The tone draws from Daniel Craig's physical, gritty portrayal with a focus on realism over glamour. It's also expansive, coming to PS5, Xbox, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Multiple editions include cosmetic rewards and even a collector's Golden Gun figurine, cementing this as one of the most ambitious Bond games ever crafted. A spy thriller told through sweat, instinct, and steel nerves.
James Bond.
If 009 slips through us...
From the creators of Friday the 13th, Halloween resurrects one of horror's most iconic killers, Michael Myers. This asymmetrical multiplayer survival game pits one player as the Shape, a silent predator driven by pure instinct, against a group of terrified survivors trying to escape, warn others, or summon help before he finds them. Every match becomes a slow-burn slasher film, where silence is deadlier than speed. Michael feeds on fear through his bloodlust meter, stalking prey, watching from the dark, and unleashing unstoppable fury once the meter peaks. The survivors must rely on stealth, cooperation, and sheer luck to survive. Illphonic's signature blend of tension, unpredictability, and cinematic brutality promises that every round will end in either desperate victory or a cold, quiet death under the mask.
Look at gameplay for Halloween. We've only scratched the surface of what's shaping up to be a truly special and murderous sandbox horror experience. And we can't wait for you all to join us in Haddonfield when Halloween launches on September 8th, 2026.
Set in the High Republic era, centuries before the Skywalker saga, Star Wars Eclipse aims to explore a galaxy at its peak, where prosperity hides growing shadows. Developed by Quantic Dream in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, this branching action-adventure gives players control of multiple protagonists whose choices ripple through the fate of entire systems. Expect grand decisions that shape politics, morality, and survival across alien worlds bathed in gold light and ancient mysticism. It's a cinematic journey of alliances and betrayals, of Jedi facing a threat unlike any they've known, and of civilizations about to fracture under the weight of their own ambition. While development is still early and the release likely years away, possibly around 2026, anticipation remains high for a Star Wars story built on consequence rather than destiny. The cult classic Reborn. Gothic Remake is a complete reimagining of the original 2001 RPG, rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5 by Alkimia Interactive under THQ Nordic's wing. Everything from the mines and forests to the looming fortress walls of the penal colony has been reworked with stunning modern fidelity, but the grim, atmospheric spirit remains untouched. The remake expands the world by up to 30%, filling in forgotten corners and adding new quests tied to the faction system. Combat, lockpicking, and NPC routines have all been redesigned to feel more fluid while preserving the sense of danger and discovery that defined the original. A playable demo called Naira's Prologue offers a taste of what's coming when the full game launches in early 2026. Darkness stirs beneath Antioch. Dungeons Deep invites players into a world where mercenaries descend into the black heart of ancient ruins, seeking gold, relics, and answers. This action RPG and dungeon crawler blends the hack-and-slash energy of Diablo with the atmosphere of classic dark fantasy. Combat is fast, fluid, and delightfully savage. Limbs can be severed, monsters can be burned, and treasures glitter just out of reach. Omnidirectional aiming gives precision to every strike, while co-op play lets allies band together against the horrors below. Procedural dungeons keep the tension alive, each run bringing new traps, monsters, and loot. Whether you play alone or with friends, Dungeons Deep promises a labyrinth where every descent tests both your reflexes and your greed. Microsoft and Undead Labs are taking their time with this one, and for good reason. State of Decay 3 is being positioned as a major flagship title developed in Unreal Engine 5 alongside support from the Coalition. It's moving toward a shared open world where survivors can join and leave each other's games seamlessly, and where every decision carries emotional weight. The focus this time is on deeper human drama, characters who remember the fallen, who form bonds, and who can break under pressure. Base building, scavenging, and zombie A are being completely reworked to feel more dynamic and grounded. Though originally rumored for 2026, insiders now expect a 2027 release, as Microsoft funnels extra resources into making it something bigger, a living, breathing apocalypse that evolves long after launch.
It would always be worth it. I didn't know you well to fight on.
From the legendary horror filmmaker himself comes a wild fusion of B-movie energy and all-out zombie warfare. John Carpenter's toxic Commando throws you into a world poisoned by humanity's own greed, where a failed scientific experiment to harness Earth's core has awakened the Sludge God, an ancient, grotesque entity spewing corruption across the planet. You and up to 3 friends form an elite cleanup crew, battling hordes of twisted mutants across slime-covered landscapes using guns, grenades, and heavily armed vehicles that churn through the muck. Each class brings its own flavor: tank, support, or damage specialist. And teamwork is the key to survival as Saber's swarm engine unleashes thousands of enemies in real time. Expect high-octane shootouts, absurd humor, and the kind of gory spectacle that would make Carpenter himself grin behind a camera lens. It's chaos, camaraderie, and gallons of goo.
Zombie on fire!
One of adventure gaming's most beloved journeys is getting a second life. Syberia Remastered rebuilds Benoit Sokal's 2002 masterpiece from the ground up, bringing its clockwork world and melancholic beauty into full modern 3D. Every environment, from the snowy streets of Valladolid to the rusting automaton factories, has been reimagined with richer lighting, smoother animation, and a modern interface designed for today's players. The puzzles have been rebalanced, still challenging but more intuitive, so the focus stays on the emotional pull of Kate Walker's story rather than frustration. The artistic direction stays faithful to Sokal's vision, dreamlike, mechanical, tinged with nostalgia.
Is still alive. I would prefer to close this affair quickly. Please do hurry.
Very far away indeed.
I'm well aware that this trip has taken me far from New York and far from the Kate you once...
Forget managing football teams. Copa City puts you in charge of an entire metropolis racing against the clock. As the city captain, you have 14 days to prepare your city for the world's biggest football event. You oversee infrastructure, security, transport, fan zones, marketing, and everything in between, juggling chaos and ambition under relentless time pressure. Every choice ripples outward. Upgrade a stadium and you might neglect transport. Invest in crowd entertainment and risk budget collapse. The ticking clock isn't just a gimmick, it's your greatest enemy. Balancing strategy with intuition, you'll decide whether your city becomes a global success or a cautionary tale of mismanagement. It's a fresh spin on the management genre. Stylish, intense, and fueled by the tension of watching the seconds slip away. Star Atlas isn't just a game, it's an evolving universe. Built on the Solana blockchain, this massive sci-fi strategy and exploration project blends interstellar politics, economy, and player-driven governance into a living digital galaxy. Players can own fleets, mine asteroids, control planets, and even shape the economy through real-time market systems powered by its own tokens. The team continues to update and expand the project, recently wrapping up its Holocene beta and launching the Star Atlas Summer event, which introduced major interface improvements, lore expansions, and community governance updates. While there's still no confirmed full release date, Star Atlas remains one of the most ambitious Web3 projects in gaming, a fusion of strategy, metaverse design, and grand sci-fi storytelling.
This is going to change everything.
In Neverness to Everness, you step into the shoes of an appraiser, a mysterious investigator navigating the crossroads of urban life and supernatural anomalies. Developed by Hada Studio, the creators behind Tower of Fantasy, this supernatural open-world action RPG blends modern cityscapes with otherworldly forces. You'll explore the hidden corners of Heathrow, from neon-lit streets to surreal distortions of reality, using traversal, combat, and investigation to uncover the truth behind the city's ever-shifting balance. The world constantly blurs the line between human and anomaly, with strange entities lurking in the fog and memories haunting every alley. The developers recently hosted their containment test phase on PC, offering players the first glimpse into this haunting universe.
Unreal. Watch out, don't blink!
The Horizon Festival is heading east, and this time it's landing in Japan. Forza Horizon 6 brings the heart of Japanese car culture to life, with everything from the buzzing neon of Tokyo's vertical highways to the serene beauty of mountain roads draped in cherry blossoms. It's the most ambitious Horizon yet. With seasonal shifts that go beyond simple weather changes, they carry deep cultural significance, turning each season into an emotional journey through Japan's landscape. Spring is painted in blossoms, autumn burns with crimson leaves, and winter transforms the countryside into a silent wonderland. Expect dynamic racing through tight city streets, winding Touge routes, and sweeping coastal highways, all recreated with incredible realism. From drifting under neon lights to tearing through misty mountain passes, this is a love letter to car enthusiasts and Japan's legendary street racing heritage. Step into a realm where mythology and mortality intertwine. Swords of Legends, the next evolution of the Gujin universe, invites you to play as Si-Pan, an underworld enforcer who returns to the surface to guide lost souls toward peace. Revealed at Gamescom 2025, this cinematic action RPG trades sprawling open worlds for a wide linear design, expansive yet rich in narrative focus. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, its visuals breathe life into a world where spiritual beauty meets the decay of the mortal plane. You'll command mystical weapons, chain together devastating combos, and summon spirit companions forged from monster souls. Every encounter is a balance between grace and brutality as Si-Pan walks the line between the living and the dead. There's no official release date yet, but from what's been shown, Swords of Legends looks poised to become one of the most visually stunning and emotionally charged adventures in recent memory.
Here we go again. Quiet. You. A soulless husk. Why wrestle rogues when their artifacts can do?
It's chaos across the cosmos in Marvel Cosmic Invasion, a stylish 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up developed by Tribute Games and Dotemu, the team behind TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Here, you'll choose two Marvel heroes and switch between them in real time, unleashing combos and tag team attacks against waves of intergalactic enemies. The roster is stacked with legends: Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, Storm, Silver Surfer, Venom, Phyla-Vell, and the newly announced duo, Black Panther and Cosmic Ghost Rider. The villain behind it all? The fearsome Annihilus, bringing destruction from the negative zone to the streets of New York. From skyscraper rooftops to alien dimensions, the action never stops, driven by explosive animation and nostalgia-fueled energy. It's pure arcade joy, built for both solo and co-op play. Few games have carried as much mystery, or as much anticipation, as Ark 2. Once expected to release in 2023, the sequel to Ark Survival Evolved has spent years in the shadows, evolving behind closed doors. Developers have since admitted that the project was put on hold for a time, but now they're cautiously preparing for an early access phase sometime between 2026 and 2027. When it finally arrives, ARK2 will mark a bold shift in tone and gameplay, a more grounded, melee-focused survival experience that some describe as Souls-like. Gone are the purely sandbox mechanics. In their place, a deeper narrative, reactive world events, and combat that feels weighty and personal. You'll still tame dinosaurs and survive in a hostile prehistoric world, but this time, the emphasis is on immersion, on feeling every strike, every storm, and every desperate moment of survival.
Every day is a fight to survive.
In the Expanse Osiris Reborn, the cold vacuum of space is not your enemy. Humanity is. Set in the universe of the acclaimed sci-fi saga, this new third-person action RPG from Owlcat Games lets you live the dangerous life of a Pinkwater security mercenary stationed on the asteroid Eros. What starts as a simple shore leave spirals into conspiracy, chaos, and interplanetary intrigue. You'll forge your path as an Earther, Martian, or Belter, each background shaping how others see and treat you. Command a loyal crew, issue tactical orders in real time, and engage in intense cover-based combat with specialized abilities that can turn the tide of battle. Choices matter, alliances shift, and the vastness of space offers no mercy. Deeply inspired by Mass Effect, this game blends moral decisions, cinematic storytelling, and the politics of survival across the solar system.
What the hell happened here? Hey, buddy.
The emotional journey continues in Planet of Lana: Two Children of the Leaf, the long-awaited sequel to one of gaming's most beautiful adventures. Lana and her loyal companion Mue return to their home planet, Novo, to face new mysteries and threats lurking beneath its surface. The world is now grander and more diverse than ever, from frozen mountain peaks to glowing underwater ruins and ancient forest temples where life itself seems to whisper secrets. The bond between Lana and Mue grows deeper through new gameplay mechanics, stealth sequences, wall jumping, sliding, and cooperative puzzles that rely on trust and timing. The art style remains painterly and poetic, capturing moments of quiet wonder between heart-pounding danger. Set to release in 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series, PC, and Nintendo Switch, Children of the Leaf expands every part of the original, the scale, the emotion, and the storytelling, promising another unforgettable voyage through nature, friendship, and survival. The legendary fighting franchise returns, and it's ready to evolve. Virtua Fighter 6, also known as the new Virtua Fighter project, is being developed by Ryuga Gotoku Studio, the team behind Yakuza and Like a Dragon. Sega has confirmed this isn't just another re-release, it's a full-scale rebirth of the series, pushing it into the modern era with cinematic presentation and a brutal new mechanic called Uprising Mode. This dynamic damage accumulation system means every fight tells a story. Bruises form, stamina fades, and every blow leaves a mark, visually and mechanically. While the project is still early in development, fans can expect the franchise's trademark realism, deep combat systems, and precision-based gameplay to return, powered by next-gen visuals. Meanwhile, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage launches this October as a bridge to the future, keeping the fighting spirit alive while the next evolution of Virtua Fighter prepares to rise from the arena flames. Legend of Ymir takes the grandeur of Norse mythology and fuses it with the high-tech world of blockchain gaming. Built by WeMade, this next-generation MMORPG invites players to explore a frozen world inspired by the gods and giants of old, but with a modern twist. Already live in South Korea, it's now preparing for a global launch with an ambitious, play-to-earn system centered around two currencies, G-WeMix and WeMix. Every victory in PvE or PvP, every quest and event, rewards you with in-game assets that can be traded, reinvested, or converted into real-world value. The system is designed with a financial backbone, a massive reserve fund to stabilize the in-game economy. Beyond its blockchain layer, Legend of Ymir is visually stunning, with massive world events, colossal bosses, and detailed character customization set against a world of frost and fire. The Painkiller reboot is bringing back the iconic demon-slaying chaos that defined the early 2000s, now reborn with modern visuals and cooperative gameplay. Developed by Saber Interactive, this reimagining sends players through sprawling Gothic battlefields, cemeteries, ruined cathedrals, and hellish arenas, armed with an arsenal of over-the-top weaponry. Classic favorites return alongside new, brutal tools, each one designed for maximum carnage. Tarot cards act as powerful buffs, letting you mix and match temporary abilities to fit your playstyle mid-combat. The game also introduces co-op for up to 3 players, along with roguelike arenas for endless replayability. Whether you're blasting through Horde solo or teaming up online, Painkiller channels the raw adrenaline of old-school shooters with a modern punch. The Anno series travels back in time, to the height of the Roman Empire. Anno 117. Pax Romana places you in the role of a Roman governor during the golden age of peace and expansion, when trade, culture, and politics shaped the ancient world. For the first time in the series, you'll choose your starting province, either Latium, the core of the Empire's heart, or Albion, the untamed Celtic frontier. Each region offers distinct challenges and opportunities. Rome's orderly grandeur or Albion's wild defiance. City building has evolved with diagonal construction and localized influence zones, making every settlement feel organic and alive. Resource management, diplomacy, and military strength are all at your disposal, but it's your leadership that will decide whether peace endures or rebellion brews.
And cultures. Build according to Roman. Your legacy will be remembered.
Grab your jellyfish nets. SpongeBob and Patrick are back in action. SpongeBob SquarePants. Titans of the Tide is a colorful 3D platformer bursting with cartoon chaos and pure nostalgia. Developed by Purple Lamp, the team behind Battle for Bikini Bottom, Rehydrated, this new adventure lets you swap between SpongeBob and Patrick on the fly, combining their unique movement and combat skills to solve puzzles and take down enemies. The story dives deep into a supernatural disaster caused by a clash between King Neptune and the Flying Dutchman, unleashing ghostly forces that have turned Bikini Bottom upside down. You'll glide through haunted reefs, explore spectral shipwrecks, and punch your way through possessed jellyfish armies, all with that signature SpongeBob humor.
There's treasure deep in the jungle.
What are we waiting for?
Float, but you can surf. Grab that ghost board if you want to get to the lighthouse.
From the creators of Returnal comes Saros, a haunting sci-fi action experience that mixes the thrill of combat with the despair of cosmic isolation. You play as Arjun Devraj, a Soltari enforcer stranded on the dying world of Carcosa, a planet forever eclipsed by a shadow that refuses to lift. Unlike Returnal's endless time loops, Saros introduces a new form of progression. Each death reshapes the world, but your upgrades and memories endure. The gameplay blends tight, kinetic gunfights with strategic use of the Soltari shield, a device that absorbs enemy fire and channels it into devastating counterattacks. The atmosphere is heavy and hypnotic, painted with surreal lighting and alien architecture that feels both sacred and terrifying.
Madness reigns. This world. I know that you are here, and I will.
Step behind the camera in Frame Zero, a psychological horror game that feels disturbingly real. You play as journalist Emma Sullivan, accompanied by her cameraman Daniel Foster, as they investigate the mysterious death of Father Gabriele Amorth, a priest and exorcist whose final ritual went horrifically wrong. Inside his crumbling apartment building, every room tells a story of fear, faith, and failure. The residents are all dead, their bodies twisted by something unseen, and the spirit of a blind girl, once the subject of the failed exorcism, now wanders the halls as a monstrous, vengeful entity. Gameplay unfolds through your camera lens. You'll document evidence, uncover hidden messages in the dark, and use light, sound, and instinct to survive. Welcome to the fractured future of Berlin, a city reborn in neon and corruption. In Neo Berlin 2087, you step into the role of Nolan, a detective haunted by loss and pulled into a web of lies after the murder of the city's police chief. His investigation leads him through the shining towers of the elite and into the decaying underbelly of the city's slums, where poverty and rebellion simmer under layers of metal and glass. Played in both first and third person, the game mixes stealth, investigation, and intense gunfights with cinematic flair. The world is alive with tension. Every encounter, every dialogue choice pushing you deeper into a story about control, betrayal, and the cost of progress. The developers describe it as a true cyberpunk noir experience, one where moral lines blur as fast as the city lights.
Like you, she needs your help.
I followed every thread.
Get ready for one of the most ambitious Marvel fighting games ever created. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls unites the explosive world of superheroes with the precision and intensity of anime-style brawlers. Co-developed by Arc System Works and PlayStation Studios, this 4 vs 4 tag-based fighter blends the flash and teamwork of Marvel vs. Capcom with the cinematic flair and accessibility of modern fighting titles. You begin each battle with a leader and one assist character, unlocking more team members mid-fight as you build momentum and break through stage walls. Every hit feels powerful, every transition stylish, complete with dramatic camera angles, environmental destruction, and smooth combo chains that let you swap fighters seamlessly. It's designed to be fast, spectacular, and deeply strategic at once. A game that has almost become myth itself, Beyond Good and Evil. 2 continues to live on, evolving behind the scenes at Ubisoft. Acting as a prequel to the beloved original, it promises to dive deep into the origins of the hybrid species and cosmic civilizations that define the first game's universe. You'll explore sprawling planets, bustling spaceports, and the chaotic edges of the galaxy as you uncover how humanity's ambition gave rise to a fractured, morally complex world. After years of silence and development turmoil, the project finally found new direction under creative director Fawzi Mesmar, following the departure of Michel Ancel. The recent Beyond Good and Evil remaster even added a new quest that ties directly into this sequel's story, giving players a small taste of what's to come.
Just as Ymir described it. True freedom.
The deep sea calls once again, and this time you won't be diving alone. Subnautica 2, built on Unreal Engine 5, expands the beloved underwater survival formula with full 4-player co-op, letting you and your friends explore the unknown depths together. But beneath the waves, turmoil brews. The game's development has faced major internal shifts, leadership changes, production delays, and controversy. Yet the team at Unknown Worlds insists the goal is clear: to deliver the most ambitious underwater world ever made. The sequel's early access release has now been pushed to 2026, allowing the developers to refine the ecosystem, story, and technical performance. Expect vast ocean biomes teeming with new alien life, advanced crafting systems, and a heavier narrative focus linking humanity's greed with nature's fury. After years of anticipation, Crimson Desert is finally preparing to unleash its breathtaking world. Set on the continent of Paywall, this open-world action-adventure from Pearl Abyss tells the story of Cliff, a mercenary leader caught in the chaos of collapsing kingdoms and ancient mysteries. Every battle, every conversation, every decision feels cinematic, a seamless blend of storytelling and action. Players can expect visceral melee combat, large-scale boss fights, and a vast landscape that stretches from icy tundras to crumbling fortresses, all rendered in stunning detail through the studio's proprietary engine. The game's physics and motion capture systems give each strike real impact, making every encounter feel alive. Originally scheduled for late 2025, the release has been moved to March 19th, 2026, giving developers time to polish this epic experience.
Fight! Fight for Palworld!
Cover the truth that lies within, and let your heart speak without. Remember who you are, and let it guide your path. For at the end of it, you will find the answers you seek.
Kojima's new teaser makes it clear this isn't a single tale, but an anthology of nightmares, each chapter shaped by a different creator's voice. One vignette, Knock, taps directly into Kojima's own fear of that simple, skin-prickling sound on the other side of a door. In the footage, a woman crouches in a cramped, candlelit space as the knock reverberates, each echo tightening the air until you can practically feel the walls inch closer. Built in Unreal Engine 5, the imagery leans into pure atmosphere rather than jump scares, letting darkness, silence, and suggestion do the heavy lifting. There is no release window yet, only the promise of distinct horrors stitched together by a single, unnerving heartbeat. This December, the frontier opens again with a story carved from vengeance and survival. You step into the role of Solek, a warrior of the Turong clan who wakes after an ambush to find the Ash clan working alongside the RDA and everything he loves in ruins. The journey pulls you through scarred stretches of Kinglore Forest and into a new sub-region known as the Ravines, where shattered roots and rock canyons hide the truth behind the attack. As Solek tracks scattered family and lost honor, the expansion sharpens the series' strengths, blending sweeping bioluminescent vistas with the intimate brutality of guerrilla skirmishes. From the Ashes itself releases December 19th, 2025, aligning with the film's debut and setting the stage for a Na'vi retaliation written in ash and blue fire. The classic time-hopping odyssey returns with a clearer compass and a handcrafted soul. Reimagine trims the meandering side paths that once pulled you away from the main quest, then replaces that lost weight with new scenarios that enrich the world and its history. The visual shift is striking too, trading HD 2D for a diorama look where towns, temples, and wind-bent fields feel like lovingly sculpted miniatures come to life. Quality of life changes smooth the grind without dulling the spirit. Enemies now roam visibly on the overworld, an auto-defeat option lets you swat aside weak encounters. The dual vocation system Moonlighting allows characters to equip 2 classes for deeper builds, and the interface has been refreshed to keep menus as snappy as the adventure. It is the same sprawling voyage through eras, but cleaner, warmer, and easier to love.
A group of young heroes embark on a journey to reclaim...
Welcome to a Lilliputian life where teacups become hot springs and spice jars turn into lantern towers. Animula Nook shrinks you down and sets you loose in a cozy, whimsical world built from oversized everyday things. You collect sunlight, raindrops, and breezes like resources, craft tiny homes from found objects, and befriend the curious folk who share these pocket kingdoms. What begins as quiet puttering grows into a creative rhythm of gathering, decorating, and repurposing, turning kitchen shelves into cliff walks and windowsills into breezy plazas. The game is confirmed for PS5, Switch 2, and PC with support for single-player, online co-op, and cross-platform multiplayer, letting friends drop into your miniature masterpiece. A bounty hunter binds with the parasite LUCA, and the line between power and possession thins to a thread. Decades earlier, in 1995, the Project Retrograde expedition fractured a subterranean world under the parasite's influence. Now, those old wounds split open again. You descend into ancient ruins with a toolkit of scavenged weapons, puzzle-laced chambers, and abilities that bloom from the symbiote inside your veins. Combat leans gung-fu-centric, a dance of close-quarters aggression, precise resource use, and parasite-fueled counters that turn survival into choreography. Unreal Engine 5 gives the grime and stone a cold sheen while the lore drips in slowly, room by room, until you realize the thing whispering guidance might also be rewriting you. This is survival horror with a pulse you can feel in your teeth. Equal parts archaeology, infection, and reckoning.
All our sacrifices! All ruin!
Cult favorite gunslinging spectacle returns, not as a simple update, but as a full rebirth. Bloodheat rebuilds the 2022 Gungrave gore from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5, modernizing every element, from the weight of animations and pacing of battles to the flow of levels themselves. Once again, you step into the role of Beyond the Grave, the resurrected Brandon Heat wielding the twin Cerberus pistols and dragging the towering Death Hauler coffin into every firefight. The heart of Gungrave, that explosive bullet ballet, is still the spine of the game, but this time the transitions between moves are smoother, combos are sharper, and battle arenas offer more freedom with branching routes and optional encounters. A story that writes itself, but also threatens to trap you inside its pages. Chronoscript, the endless end, casts you as an editor who accepts a strange manuscript and suddenly finds himself pulled into its living world. The experience unfolds across 2 layers. A shadowed 3D manor filled with secrets, and hand-drawn 2D pages where ink, words, and imagination form entire landscapes. Together, these perspectives weave a reality where you are both reader and character, both witness and participant in a tale that has been unfolding for 1,000 years without closure. The game's tension thrives on this duality, solving puzzles, uncovering missing chapters, and confronting metaphors that bleed into flesh and blood threats. Hoyoverse trades sprawling action RPGs for something unexpectedly cozy, a galactic life sim where your canvas isn't a town, but an entire planet. In Petit Planet, you nurture worlds like living diaries, planting, fishing, crafting, and cooking while populating them with adorable neighbors. Every corner pulses with music and warmth, but the twist is Luca, the planet's vitality system, which lets you reshape the very skies, terrains, and landscapes themselves. With Luca, you can transform clouds into drifting islands, tint skies with new hues, or grow forests that shimmer with alien glow. Beyond the personal, a galactic bazaar hub connects your creations with others, while a whimsical space car lets you explore nearby islets to gather recipes, rare items, and secrets. Fast, destructive, and tactical, Pattern Zero reinvents the first-person shooter by making the battlefield itself your weapon. Here, maps aren't static arenas, but canvases you can tear apart and reshape in real time. Breach walls, collapse ceilings, or carve new sightlines to outthink and outmaneuver your opponents. The hook isn't chaos for chaos's sake, but creativity. Teams must balance resource use, utility tools, and a rich arsenal to control not just where the fight happens, but how it unfolds. Abilities are tied to an economy system, encouraging strategic decisions on when to fortify, when to demolish, and when to strike. The developers describe it simply: the map is your weapon, and everything flows from that principle. Nintendo's legendary strategy saga threads a new chapter on Switch 2 in 2026, this time weaving its battles into a mythic tournament. Fortune's Weave centers on the Heroic Games, a brutal gladiatorial contest overseen by the Divine Sovereign, who promises to grant the winner's greatest wish. New heroes step into the spotlight: Kai, Theodora, Dietrich, and Leda, each carrying their own secrets, ambitions, and reasons to fight. The tournament structure gives the story an edge of spectacle, but the Fire Emblem DNA remains: tactical battles where every move shapes relationships and destiny. The trailer even hints at continuity with Fire Emblem: Three Houses, as Sothis herself appears in a throne room, suggesting deeper mythological ties.
I won't let you hurt her! I only want to fight so I can save my father's life.
With this blade,
My full strength.
Step into a decaying research facility where every bolt, every broken panel, and every flickering light is a puzzle waiting for your hands. The lift calls itself a supernatural handyman simulator, but beneath that quirky label lies a slow burn mystery. You play as a lone repair technician tasked with bringing life back to this abandoned retro-futuristic complex. The titular lift, your only way deeper, remains locked until you restore its surrounding systems, forcing you to tinker with machinery, rewire circuits, and piece together forgotten technology. Its style leans into eerie, faux Soviet sci-fi, filled with brutalist structures, surreal architecture, and an atmosphere soaked in Cold War paranoia. Each fix you make doesn't just repair a system, it reveals fragments of a story, hinting at the event that turned this place into a ghost facility. Music becomes your weapon, your shield, and your story in People of Note, a game that fuses turn-based RPG with the heart of a stage performance. You play as Cadence, a young singer rejected from the noteworthy song contest. But rather than fade into silence, she sets out to form a band, challenge the conventions of her world, and bring harmony back to a land drowning in chaos. Battles unfold not as fights, but as concerts. Every move is tied to rhythm. Every ability shaped by genre, and mashup attacks combine bandmates' styles into dazzling performances that can sway the flow of combat. The world itself is built on music. Entire regions embody different genres, from gritty, rock-driven cities to neon-lit electronic districts and soft, dreamlike acoustic forests.
I gotta be better than this. I gotta go get it. I gotta put everything I wanna be.
The Crimson Butterfly flutters again, guiding two sisters into one of horror's most haunting tales, Fatal Frame 2. Crimson Butterfly Remake brings back the story of Mio and Mayu Amakura, twin sisters lured into a cursed village that does not exist on any map and where the night never ends. With only the mystical camera obscura to defend themselves, they must face vengeful spirits that drift through empty houses and narrow paths, their rage tied to rituals long forgotten. The remake goes beyond visual polish, adding a small but powerful detail. Mio can now hold Mayu's hand during key sequences, a mechanic once cut for technical reasons. This single feature heightens their bond and intensifies the dread as you feel the fragile connection between them in a world where even touch can be stolen.
収集要素も増えているので、シリーズファンの方にも新たな楽しみがあるものとなっています。シリーズ2作目のリメイクなんですけども、このシリーズはそれぞれストーリーが完結したタイトルですので、この
From the harsh survival chaos of Palworld comes a gentler offshoot, Palfarm, a cozy farming life sim where the creatures you once fought beside now help you nurture the land. Instead of building fortresses against the wilderness, you cultivate fields, raise pals, cook meals, and craft a life of calm routines. Your companions aren't just pets. They water crops, haul harvests, and share moments of quiet joy as you build a home together. But this isn't all soft edges. Palfarm retains a playful bite, with occasional defense events that force you to protect your farm and hints that weapon mechanics might return in lighter, tongue-in-cheek ways. Multiplayer farming is confirmed, letting friends join in to sow, reap, and relax together. Step into the fragile mind of Junko, a reclusive young woman whose reality is fracturing under the weight of her own lies. Broken Lore. Don't Lie takes the horror universe of Broken Lore into psychological territory, placing you in a cramped apartment that slowly unravels into liminal, dreamlike spaces where walls bend, eyes watch from the shadows, and truth itself is unstable. One unique twist is Fantasy Boy, a retro side-scrolling game Junko plays to calm herself. At first, it's a harmless escape, but gradually, its pixelated innocence seeps into her waking world, where the bright chiptunes warp into something far more sinister. Gameplay mixes exploration with stealth and limited confrontation as you search for memory fragments, hide from distorted hallucinations, and attempt to hold onto a crumbling sense of self.
まただ、あの変なかゆみ。誰？
A poetic journey unfolds in Demi and the Fractured Dream, an action-adventure inspired by Zelda, but carrying its own heartbeat of melancholy and wonder. You play as Demi, a voidsent, cursed by the void, yet also empowered by its darkness. Guided by a mysterious voice, Demi must confront three monstrous accursed beasts that threaten to consume the dreamlike world of Somnus. Each region is richly distinct, from golden desert spires to mist-draped marsh kingdoms, blending environmental puzzles, platforming, and void-tainted enemies that test both reflexes and wit. Combat is fluid and deliberate, built around timing and risk. Dodging at the right instant unlocks devastating void-empowered strikes, while charms allow you to shape builds with spells, tools, and physical power. Drawing inspiration from the legacy of Parasite Eve, Parasite Mutant is a sci-fi horror RPG that drips with dread. You play as Nova, a psionic agent sent to investigate an abandoned island city, but what begins as reconnaissance becomes a desperate struggle against grotesque mutants and a creeping threat inside her own identity. The combat system, ATC or Active Time Chains, blends real-time action with strategic timing. Players must carefully choose how to spend 3 segments of energy, whether to dodge, store power, or unleash a devastating chain release. This creates a rhythm of tension and release, forcing careful planning in every encounter. High-octane magic collides with gunfire in Spell Trigger, a third-person shooter where you wield a weapon that fuses firearm mechanics with arcane power. You step into the role of Vivian, a Warden Magus armed with the Spell Trigger itself, a weapon capable of unleashing bullets, spells, and devastating chained abilities in fluid combat. The story follows the spread of a sinister force that blankets humanity in a creeping wave of sleep and mortality, threatening to end the world in silence. Gameplay is fast and stylish. You fire enchanted rounds, weave spells between shots, and chain abilities into devastating combos. The game features both solo play and multiplayer co-op, allowing Wardens to team up and tackle missions that dive deeper into the lore of the Magus Order.
We are the Magus Order. Our duty is to guard the balance of this world.
The game that defined an era of immersive sims is being reborn. Deus Ex Remastered, handled by Aspyr alongside Eidos Montreal, aims to preserve the groundbreaking RPG while bringing it to modern players with a full visual overhaul. Dynamic lighting, sharper textures, reworked models with proper lip sync, improved physics, and modern rendering breathe new life into its cyberpunk world of conspiracies, biotech, and shadow governments. On top of the facelift come features fans expect today: autosave, faster loading, cloud saves, ultra-wide monitor support, and achievements. It isn't just nostalgia polished, it's the definitive way to revisit a classic.
And consequence. No 2 playthroughs unfold the same. Deus Ex Remastered arrives on PS5 early next year.
The bizarre and brutal world of Let It Die returns, but this time with sharper teeth and no safety nets. Let It Die. Inferno abandons the original's free-to-play system and instead embraces a full roguelite structure. If you die, it's over. No retries, no pay-to-continue mechanics. Instead of climbing a tower as in the first game, Inferno drags you downward, plunging circle by circle into a vision of hell. Each descent brings new dangers. Rival raiders, savage beasts, and grotesque horrors lurking in the firelit dark. The tone remains chaotic and strange, with previews calling it singularly weird, true to the series' DNA. Survival action mechanics keep the fights fast and tense, while the roguelite format ensures every dive feels unpredictable. Launching December 3rd on PS5, Inferno redefines Let It Die not as a grind but as a gauntlet, one where the only way forward is through flames and madness.
You are truly my